So imagine if you combine the capabilities of a flagship commercial system like the DJI Matrice 300 with the portability and the agility of the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced, and then added in a little bit of flair like the Mavic 3. Well, that's what the engineers over at DJI Enterprise not only imagined, but created. Introducing the newest addition to the DJI Enterprise lineup, the DJI M30 Series. Okay, that's enough of that. You guys aren't here for flashy jump cuts and bumping music. You're here for information. So right away, here's a 60-second summary of everything that you are about to watch. The M30 series is the answer to the question, what's better than the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced, but not as beastly as the M300. It's a foldable quadcopter with pullers on the front and pushers on the back, which in my opinion is how all drones should be. It weighs 3.7 kilograms or 8 pounds, and it folds up to 14 by 9 by 8 inches. It is IP55 rated, and it comes with the new RC Plus Enterprise controller with O3 transmission that has a signal strength up to 15 kilometers. The M30 has an integrated camera system with a wide angle, a hybrid zoom, an FPV camera, and a 1200 meter laser rangefinder. The M30T has all of those plus a high-res thermal camera. It goes 51 miles per hour. It flies for 41 minutes on a good day. It has 2 hot swappable 5880 lithium ions. You can get it up into the air faster than any drone I have ever seen, and the target market is search and rescue, public safety, and infrastructure inspections. Along with the drone comes some impressive additions to the Enterprise ecosystem, including the new Pilot app, Flight Hub 2, and DJI Dock. Now, if that was all a little bit too fast for you, enjoy the video. In this first of at least 3 videos about the DJI M30, I'm going to discuss who this drone is for, the different versions available, and how it's different from other DJI Enterprise drones. I'll give an overview of the specifications as well as the external design and the components. And finally, we'll get the M30T up in the air for a short demonstration of the flight performance and the camera system. This video is going to be a little bit longer than normal, so there are timestamps in the video description so you can navigate to any particular topic that you wish the next time that you watch this video. Also, I do have a walkthrough video of the brand new DJI RC Plus controller. I'm going to be releasing that the same time as this video. So when you're done watching this, you might want to check that out. I'll put a link at the end of this video as well as in the video description. This controller is one of the most significant additions to the Enterprise system, and I'm so excited to show it to you. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this unit you will see in this video is a review unit, so it has some printing on the fuselage that won't be on the final production units. And finally, I know this drone is not meant to be fun in any way, but it is by far the most fun drone that I have ever had the opportunity to fly. So something you should know, this is not just a new drone. The M30 is just one part of a new integrated solution from DJI Enterprise that includes the M30 and the M30T, which is the same drone but includes a high-resolution thermal camera, Flight Hub 2, and the DJI Dock. And then there's also new design of the software, DJI Pilot. Today's focus will primarily be on the M30T itself. The other things will be covered in future videos here on the channel. The M30 series and this new enterprise ecosystem was developed as an effort to bring a user-centric industry workflow solution that helps everyday heroes and inspection professionals perform their job more efficiently. It is very much like a little brother to the Matrice 300. The M300 is an amazing drone, and it can perform a variety of complex tasks like search and rescue, inspections, 3D mapping, and much more with a variety of payloads. But the M30 can do many of those things with more agility and efficiency. This drone fills a gap for users that want something as powerful as the M300, but with more capabilities than the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced. So one of the biggest challenges for DJI when they created this drone was making it light and compact, yet still weatherproof. So apparently it takes a lot of weight to make a drone weatherproof. And so they wanted to keep this light, and so I guess it took a lot of work to make this possible. But this drone, the M30 series, is IP55 rated. That means you can fly it in virtually any kind of conditions: rain, snow, sleet, and really heavy winds like scale 7 winds. But I just wanted to test out the waterproof. I've never done this before, and I'm kind of nervous to do it, but I'm gonna spray it with water and see how it handles it. So let's get it up. All right, here we go. Is that not just insane? Look at that. Wow. Oh, that makes me so nervous, but wow, that is really, really cool. And then the other thing, the other day we had 33-mile-per-hour winds at 150 feet, and I put the M30 up in those kinds of windy conditions, and that was also very nerve-wracking, especially when you watch the FPV camera. But I mean, it was rock steady. Like when you switch it over to the wide-angle camera and just view it from the gimbal's view, everything was perfect. Like the drone was like tilted, I don't know how many degrees, but it was so windy that day. The wind was gusting and it performed very well. So IP55 rating, the controller IP54, so you can fly with this in the rain as well. So it doesn't matter if this gets wet. It was so important for them to design it to be weatherproof because a lot of the situations that this drone is gonna be in situations like that. It's gonna be super windy out, it's gonna be really rainy, snowy, you know, someone's gonna get lost with the weather conditions being bad. This drone needs to be able to get up in the air and find that person. Some other highly efficient design features of the M30 include that it has no landing gear to install, no payload to connect because the camera and the gimbal system are fully integrated into the drone, and no components to attach before you launch. You simply insert the batteries, you unfold the arms that lock confidently into place, no more twisting and making sure that everything is locked. You power it on, you power on the RC Plus, and you launch. You know what? Let's check it out. Let's see how long it takes to go from case to launch. Start the timer in 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse this here just so it goes a little bit faster, but you can see on your left-hand side, I have one of the world's greatest commercial drone pilots, and he's setting up the M300. And although he's doing a wonderful job and he's very efficient at it, you can see that not even someone as talented and quick as Billy Kyle can compete with the efficiency of the DJI M30. Stop. From case to air in about 60 seconds. Time is critical, especially in a search and rescue or a public safety event. The M30 allows the team to get their eyes in the sky more quickly than ever before. So the M30 is packed with several safety features as well, including multi-redundancy flight controls, DJI AirSense, global navigation satellite system comprised of Beidou, GPS, and Galileo. It has built-in RTK, improved dual beacons, and auxiliary lighting. The M30 has 6 directional obstacle avoidance with a total of 24 combined vision and infrared sensors. The vision sensors can recognize and inform the pilot of obstacles up to 38 meters away, while the infrared sensors handle anything less than 10 meters, and they allow the M30 to avoid obstacles in very low light conditions. Just a little bit of advice when you're testing out obstacle avoidance on a drone, so you don't decapitate yourself, make sure that you have it in normal mode instead of sport mode. Also, this drone has an emergency 3-prop control system, meaning that if something happens to one of the props or the motors during flight, it can still safely land using the remaining 3. The M30 series is powered by 2 5880 milliamp hour 6S lithium-ion batteries, providing up to 41 minutes of flight time. And with the newly designed individual locking mechanism, there's virtually no risk of accidentally disconnecting both batteries while hot swapping. The TB30 batteries can be charged 2 at a time, up to 90% in just 30 minutes, and fully charged in 50 minutes. This means that with just 4 batteries, you could potentially fly all day or all night long. All right, so let's take a look at the cameras on the M30T. The only difference between the M30T and the M30 is that the M30T has a thermal camera, but the M30T has 4 cameras, including a wide angle, a hybrid zoom camera, a thermal camera, and an FPV camera. The FPV camera has a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and a 161-degree field of view. The wide-angle camera has a 12-megapixel sensor with a 24mm equivalent focal length. The zoom camera is a half-inch 48-megapixel quad-bear sensor with a 113 to 405mm equivalent focal length. And the M30 also has an optical zoom up to 16x and a hybrid zoom up to 200x. The thermal camera on the M30T has a resolution of 640 by 512 and a 40mm equivalent focal length. The M30 series also has a laser rangefinder that can measure up to 1,200 meters away. Now we'll take a closer look at the image quality of all of these cameras here in just a few minutes. Now at the top of the drone, you'll see 4 mounting holes as well as 2 ports. That's right, the M30 is PSDK and OSDK compatible. This system will allow for third-party developers to create components that can be used with the drone. Things like lighting systems, loudspeakers, espresso machines, you name it, and it can be used on this drone. Okay, maybe not the espresso machine, but a lot of other things. Also on the top of the M30 is the beacon, and there's one on the bottom as well that exceeds FAA anti-collision lighting regulations. On the port side is where you'll find the micro SD card slot. All right, we're gonna do a short flight test of the M30 today. I'm just gonna show you the camera qualities, the zoom capabilities, the infrared camera, maybe a little bit of flight performance on the M30. And I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible. I tend to ramble on sometimes, in case you haven't noticed that, but that's why I do have timestamps in the video. But I just wanna get it up and just kind of give you guys a glimpse of it, and then we'll do some more detailed examples and some scenarios and things like that when I do the future videos, the follow-up videos to this one. So right here is our pre-flight check, and we're gonna click on the HMS, Health Management System. So let's go ahead and get the M30 up in the air. Super quiet when it's idling, not quite as quiet when it's launching. It is so fun to fly this drone. All right, so right now you're seeing the FPV camera on the screen. And of course that's not stabilized. So very concerning when you watch the FPV camera. So now I've been out here a few times and flown already. And you can see right there I have a pin, and I'll show you what a pin is here in just a second. So first thing I want to show you, you can see I'm 1,000 feet away right there in the bottom of the screen. And let's switch over to the wide camera. I'm just going to click on R3. Okay, and that brings up the wide camera. So there is the H, that's the home point. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the zoom camera and show you what this zoom can do. It's so good. So right there is 5X. All right, so there you can see me right in the middle of the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. Now we do have a 16X optical zoom on the M30 and the M30T, and then a 200X digital zoom. So we're going to zoom in, there's 10X, and right there at 20X. Now 20X, we're getting into that hybrid zoom right now. So 16X is optical, and then we got a little bit of digital on here, but it still looks crystal clear. And I'm just going to keep clicking there. I'm going to wave at you just so you can see. It's really easy to see this drone at 1,000 feet. You can even see it at up to almost 3,000 feet on a cloudy day like today. So because it is a good sized drone. I'm going to pan the gimbal over a little bit, zoom in, there's 80X. Now we're starting to get a little bit blurry, and there's 160X. Let's get up here. You could probably still see a license plate at this. Maybe not, I don't know. You can't see mine because it's blocked by the tailgate, but, and then we'll zoom in one more time, and there it is, 200X. So this is 200X on the hybrid zoom. So at about 40X, it's pretty good clarity. I think it looks great. So now what I want to do, sorry, I'm going through this kind of fast, but I don't want this video to get too long. But now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and fly over here to these oil tanks. Right now we're flying in normal mode. I'm going to switch it over into sport mode, get over there a little bit faster. Still really easy to see this drone. Let's get up a little bit higher. So we're at about 250 feet. And I'm going to try to put that tanker right there. We'll go with this tanker. Let's turn on the laser rangefinder. I'm going to click in the upper left-hand corner, and that's going to tell us that we are 2,328 feet away from that oil tanker. I'm going to switch back. Already in the zoom camera, I'm going to zoom in. We're going to take a look at this tank right here. So there's 20X. Okay, if there was someone walking right there on those stairs, we would be able to see them very clearly. We can make out their facial features. So there's 160X. So as I was editing this, I realized that I didn't actually record any footage that day with the M30 camera. So I went out the next day. Here's the wide angle view from that same scene. And then here's the zoomed in view. Now this is only zoomed in to 20X. So you can see that zoom is pretty good. And when you record with the M30, you can record the infrared, the zoom, the wide, and the current view at the same time. The current view is basically just what you're looking at on the screen. And then here's a thermal example. Now this isn't the best example of the thermal camera. So here's a side-by-side. On the left is the thermal camera, and then the zoom on your right. Let's go ahead and switch over to the infrared. So I'm going to click on the L1 button. That's the infrared. And click on that right there so we can zoom in on the infrared. So there's a 5x infrared, 10x. Okay, now we're kind of getting some degradation of the image, but pretty cool. And then you can switch colors by switching right up here. Right now we're in black hot. There's tint. There's iron red. Iron red is my favorite. And I was using iron red the other day. I was out here just kind of flying over these trees right here, right in this area. And I saw a couple of heat signatures. There I see a couple more right now. Let's get down a little bit and see what that is. You know what? I wonder if that's deer. So I was out here anyway, and I saw a couple of heat signatures, and I turned on the split screen. So right now I'm gonna do that, SBS. So there's the split screen. So on your left-hand side, you can see, let's go ahead and zoom in and see what these are. It's deer. There's so many deer out here. This is why I love flying out here. So the other day I was out here and I saw two heat signatures. They're kind of holding still, but I saw a little bit of movement. So I zoomed in with the split screen, and sure enough, it was two deer. And here again, we have quite a bit more than two deer. This is awesome. Let's see how close we can get with this camera. So there's 20x. This is so great. I love where I live. So yeah, there's deer everywhere. You come out here in the morning, just herds of deer. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, so there's the split screen. So you can see the signatures on the left. So if you're doing a search and rescue situation and you'd be able to zoom in and see, you know, maybe there's like a child lost and he's hiding under a tree or something, you would be able to see that, you know, with this. So let's go back to the zoom camera. Yeah, nice. That's so fun. All right, now a couple other things that I wanted to show you here is, number one, I want to show you the smart tracking feature, which is so cool. So let's get over to the highway here. And let's say you're doing, you know, you're in pursuit, like law enforcement is in pursuit of a suspect, and they know what the vehicle is, they know what it looks like, and they're telling the drone pilot from the flight hub in the command center, they're saying, hey, we got a vehicle heading westbound on Highway 2, and we want you to look for this vehicle. It's a whatever, hopefully a car comes by here, but we're gonna click on the smart track right there in the left-hand side, and then that's gonna bring up your subjects that the drone can be able to track. And so we're gonna tap on that semi right there, and guess what? The drone's gonna start tracking that semi. So right now it's gonna stay at 155 feet. We got 155 foot altitude, but the zoom camera is gonna keep track of that truck. Now, as the truck begins to speed up, it's gonna get up to 70 miles an hour. Obviously, this drone can't go 70, but it can go 51 miles per hour. I got it up to 51.4 or 51.8 the other day. So that was pretty cool. But so right now we're tracking this truck, and just, I think that's so great. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you, let's go ahead and get off of there and get back into the wide camera, is the pins. So let's say, you know, you can see those little diamonds there, those little blue diamonds right there. Those are things that I've pinned already in previous flights out here. But let's say we're doing a search and rescue. I keep coming back to search and rescue. Let's say, you know, we got, you know, maybe a car went in the lake, fell through the ice or something like that. And then the drone pilot sees something, you know, maybe floating in the ice, and he was out here and pinned this area right there. So there's a pin, right? I'm gonna show you how to set a pin. You're just gonna click on the L3 button, okay? L3, I think I see like a tire or something, all right? And that's gonna pin that spot. And then on Flight Hub in the command center, or maybe you got some people on the team that are out in the field, they got, you know, their iPads or whatever, and they're a member of the team doing this search and rescue. I can pin that area, and then on the map, you know, you can bring up the map. That's gonna show you the latitude, longitude, GPS coordinates. It's gonna show you the altitude of the pin. It's gonna show you the altitude of the drone at the time. So all the information is right there. And so anyone on the team can navigate to that GPS coordinate and find, you know, what that drone pilot is looking at. So really, really cool being able to pin and being able to go back and forth between pins, you know, navigate to a certain area instantly using the pins. So I think that's going to be very useful for search and rescue situations. So, all right, and I think that's all I'm going to show you today. So yeah, so there's just a little taste of the cameras. Like I said, I got this up to 51, little over 51 miles per hour, and that was on a pretty calm day. I think it was like 10 miles per hour that day. I'm not sure, but so I'm gonna have a couple of more videos on this at least. I might actually do a few more videos. I do have a detailed video on the RC Plus controller. I'm gonna post that at the same time as this one. So I'm gonna put that at the end of the video here. Also, you know what? I'm gonna put it right up here. So click on that if you wanna see a walkthrough of the RC Plus controller. Really, really awesome controller. I wish we had this for consumer drones too. You really don't need it. It's kind of overkill for the consumer drones, but it's really fun to fly with this giant screen and this super bright screen, especially on bright sunny days. So I did meet with some search and rescue officials and with the sheriff's deputy, and that's who I'm gonna kind of focus on for the next video. We're gonna do kind of maybe some mock scenarios, maybe like a mock rescue or maybe like a mock fire. We haven't really talked about that yet, but I did show them the drone. They're very impressed with the capabilities of it, so I'm excited to do some more things with those guys. I'm also going to meet with some engineers on some inspection things. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, let me know down in the comments. Follow me on social media, you guys, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, because I'm going to be sharing some more content on the M30 on there, some more fun content, you know, some more of those jump cuts and music type things and highlights and close-ups and things like that. So be sure to follow me if you want to see more content on this drone. If you guys got some information out of this video, hopefully that you did. You guys, this was the most fun project that I've ever done since I've started this channel. This drone is really amazing. For the first 24 hours of this video going live, I'm going to answer every single question that you guys have down in the comments. Have a great day, everyone. I sincerely want to thank you for watching this entire video. As always, fly safe and fly smart.